So I wanted a wood body resonator uke, and I don't know if you've looked around, but to find a wood body resonator uke, you're looking $1,000 or more, looking for like a Nash or something from one of the custom makers, MyMO or something like that. I was a little beyond what I was willing to spend for something that I wasn't really sure I was going to use that much. So I modified a Mainland. This is just a regular Mainland rosewood and red cedar concert size ukulele, and caught some flack for butchering a perfectly good ukulele, but I think it turned out pretty good. It's a solid cedar top, solid rosewood back and sides. Very nice little uke to begin with. The resonator tone, depending on how you play this, is not real strong. Now that's actually what I wanted. I mean, if I'd been looking for a real strong resonator tone, I wish would have bought a metal body Recording King or something like that. But I wanted the woodier tone of a wood body, the warmer tone. This one, if you play it like a regular ukulele, see that the resonator is the tone is there, but it's not real strong, which is kind of what I was looking for. I wanted to keep that warmth of a ukulele. But if you wanted more of that resonator tone, I think in hindsight this might actually work better with a cheaper uke with just a laminated top, because the top, this solid top on these red cedar ukuleles is extremely lively, and that's why there's so much woody component compared to the resonator. Now if you pluck the strings with your fingernail, you get a little more of the resonator tone, especially if you do it down close to the bridge. And if you play with a pick over the bridge and use a slide, you definitely get a lot of resonator tone. So it's really kind of nice, because depending on what you want to do, you can get almost a straight ukulele tone out of it, or you can get more of the resonator tone depending on what you're going on. And that's kind of typical with wood body resonator guitars. They're the same way, and that's what I like about them is, depending on where you pick and how you finger it, you can get more of a straight guitar sound or more of a resonator sound out of it. Regular Mainland red cedar concert. It's rosewood and red cedar. Cut a hole in the top, as you can see right here. It's about a 4-inch hole, and the resonator is the bottom of a coffee can. And I think it's very important that you use only the chicory coffee from Cafe Du Monde to get the right mojo for this particular project. The bridge was fabricated using the original bridge and cutting it up. This was the part that the string's tied to. This part across here was the bridge, and I just cut these apart and took the ears off the end. The little round biscuit there that this is glued to is just a maple turned maple disc that you can get from Lowe's. You can get a package of 6 of them for like $2 or $3. So not a lot of money involved there. Cut the hole just using a knife. I used the small blade out of this package. Took a little time, but I didn't want to use my Dremel tool because I was afraid it would. This wood is so soft, I was afraid I'd go a little nuts and make the hole too large. The hole needs to be very snug against the sides of the can here, because the can just sits in the top. It's not. It's not resting on the bottom of the uke or anything, the back of the uke or anything like that. It's just, in fact, it's cut down. The sides are only about that thick. So it's very important also that it have the this welded rim on it. You don't want the aluminum cans that have no rim, because that's all it does. It just sits in there. If I took the strings off, I could actually lift that out. It's a snug fit. You want it to be snug, but you don't want to glue it in or anything. This is a little strange back here. You'll see my kind of jury-rigged attachment there for the strings. That's going to change. I just was in a hurry to see what it was going to sound like before I put any more time into it. What I'm going to do is replace both this and these screws with probably a banjo tailpiece. I've got to find one that I like that will go over this. But other than that, it's pretty much complete. You can still see I needed to file notches on the top of the saddle because the strings aren't breaking at a real steep angle back here like they normally do when these two pieces are together. So they tended to squirm on the top when you pluck the strings. This way they sit very snug, and they don't do that, so you get better sustain, you get better tone out of it. Also, I compensated the top of the saddle to get a little bit better compensation. The action is intentionally a little high down here at the bridge end because I want to be able to play this with a slide, and soft nylon strings are a little strange to play with a slide anyway, so I want to make sure that I had enough action there, and it seems to be about right. Now this top is very lively, and in retrospect, I think if you wanted a little stronger resonator tone in relation to the woody tone, you might actually be better off using a less expensive ukulele just with a laminated top. I think you'd still get some of the woody tone, and the resonator would probably be a little stronger. I like this the way it is. I wasn't going for a real strong resonator tone. If I had been, I just would have bought a Recording King middle body or something like that. I've got a couple of examples where I'll show, this really is a good balance between being able to get a straight ukulele sound versus a resonator sound. But if you wanted a little stronger resonator sound, then you might just go with like a Lanikai LU21C or something like that with a solid top. I mean a laminated top.